light off. Now it's not so cool anymore. This is Tyler.
How you doing, guys?
He's our guest. He'll be speaking. And we're missing our two people. Actually, can you see the ghosts of Chad and Natalie? They're right there. I buried them in the backyard. Yeah, we've disabled waiting in the room. May as well just open up everybody. Let's see if people want to talk.
Ask them if they can hear.
Can you guys all hear everything? Okay, I just open
Can
it
hear
up.
everything.
Open it up so everyone can talk. Just complete anarchy.
Oh, you want me to let?
Yeah, unmute everybody. Complete anarchy. Since Chad and Natalie aren't here, I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I want.
I like that idea.
Hey, Chuck, Zamzao, Becca, Desiree.
What's going on, buddy?
Hey, guys. There we go.
What's up, everybody?
Hey there. Yeah. Free for all. This is Tyler. He's going to speak tonight.
What's up, Tyler?
How you guys doing?
It's hot in here. What are you eating there? Ice cream? Yeah.
Cheez-It.
Oh, Cheez-Its. Cheez-Its. I like Cheez-Its.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
We can hear you.
Oh, no.
We are joining you from the Hondo Center of Healing in Downey, California.
Oh, nice.
So love amigos.
Oh, that is awesome. Thank you. How many people you got in there?
I'm trying to round everybody up, but we have 42 clients.
Wow, that is awesome. Thank you.
No, thank you.
How'd you hear about us? Just through the wire or?
I caught it on Instagram and then started following, and I am familiar with Natalie.
Oh, nice. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. Figured it was her.
Yes.
Explain the rules.
Rules and regulations. You know what? There are none. We have no rules. We have no regulations tonight. We don't care.
I feel
He's
like
going
I'm
to talk for as long as he wants.
It's recorded live.
Oh, yeah. I'll let everyone know it's recorded live. It's recorded live. It's on YouTube. We have people looking. People are watching. They're watching all the time anyways. If you don't want to be recorded or you want to be here, turn your mic off or your screen off. Otherwise, we're good to go. Betty, how you doing, Betty? Nice. How you feeling, Tyler? Nervous?
Feeling great. No,
Little nervous?
no, a little
How's
bit.
the how's the rain storm doing for you?
It's probably exacerbating the nervousness a little bit. But sorry, I'll do fine.
All right, we muted everybody. Sorry. Betty Anderson, Uribe, Locker Room. Wow, we're getting some different ones. Uribe, Locker Room. I'm probably butchering the name. Wow, quiet night. Peaceful. Still kind of hot.
Ask them how the holidays were.
Oh yeah, that's right. Thanksgiving. I totally forgot because I'm Canadian, and we celebrated a long time ago. Tyler, how was your Thanksgiving? You eat?
Not
You're a big
bad.
guy, Tyler. You got broad shoulders. You probably put back a few pancakes there on Thursday night.
At least some pancakes.
Jesus, yeah.
Not bad, though.
Tyler's from Connecticut.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to look him up, it's a small place.
look 'em up.
It's
You don't want to know.
look. You check out the mugshot though. You look-
There's a few.
There's a few
There's a few of
mugshots. That's funny.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
that is hilarious.
What? Oh.
Oh, we got someone live there.
I know I muted them.
Oh, we're all okay. Everyone, hi everyone. How are you?
What's going on?
Hey guys, everyone's unmuted. Let's do a shout out to Tyler, and we're going to start here in the next minute or two.
What's
What's going on, Tyler?
How's it going?
You ready for the intro?
Yeah, we're ready for the intro. Let's dance. Bum, bum, bum. Do, 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 do. Yeah, baby. It's just not the same without my tribe here, though. You know, I mean, where are they? Are they not even coming on? We're missing Eva and Chad tonight. They're in Arizona working. They're working out in Arizona, but it's nice to see you guys. Oh, there's Chad coming on now. All right, let's mute everyone. There's Chad coming on. All right, so we're ready to go. Maybe in about a minute. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Tyler, you're 36, you said, right?
36.
36. How long you got in sobriety?
3.5
Oh,
years.
not saying that you're in sobriety. I don't know.
3.5.
3.5 years? Fair enough.
Yeah. Coming up on 3.
All your time done out here?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
First try?
No.
God, no.
Close. Not even close. No.
Ah, we're in for a story, people.
Yeah.
We're in for a hell of a story from Connecticut. Nice. All right, it's 6 o'clock. Let's
Explain the rules one more time.
Okay, so rules and regulations. You're going to talk for 20, 25 minutes, however long it takes.
Cool.
We're going to open it up. People are going to have up to 3 minutes to share. You're going to hear this as soon as you're taking too long. We are videotaped and we're live on YouTube. And so if you don't want to be on the air, you don't want to be videotaped, please turn your camera off. Otherwise, yeah, let's get going. Peter's
Awesome.
kicking in.
Awesome.
Nice. This is Tyler.
Want me to start?
Sure, why not?
That's it?
That's it, bro.
All right. My name is Tyler. I'm a heroin addict.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you guys doing out there? All right. So I have a sobriety date of June 15th, 2020. I have a sponsor in the 12-step fellowships who knows he's my sponsor. I sponsor other men through the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, Heroin Anonymous. I identify as a heroin addict because that's what I am. That's where I found my fellowship in Heroin Anonymous, and I'll get to that in a little bit. I want to give you guys an idea of kind of where I come from. So, I mean, growing up, partying, things of that nature, not that much different than what everybody's really experienced in the rooms. High school, college, drinking, smoking weed, a little bit of cocaine, things of that nature. I didn't really think it was out of control. Now that I look back, it probably was a little bit more into it than other people. Like I was always the last person that leaves the bar, the last person that leaves the party, the first person to wake up the next morning and start drinking and doing things again. But at the time, I just thought that was just how people partied, right? Things really didn't get bad for me until after I got out of college. I was working in my first career opportunity. It was a job in finance in New York City. I wasn't a finance major in college, but I was a business administration major. But I had a pretty good knack for the market. Somehow I got hired to a financial firm, and they gave me an opportunity to be a financial advisor and to take my Series 7 and to have a career path in that field. I got into a bar fight. I broke my hand, and I was prescribed Vicodin. That was the first time I ever took a pain pill, any type of opioid medication, anything of that nature. I had a lot of friends in high school that were hooked on OxyContin. I had an older brother that was hooked on OxyContin, and I knew that stuff was not good. Like I watched it firsthand with family members and friends and the paths that they went down. I had a couple friends overdose and die off OxyContin in high school and in college. But when I took that first pill from a doctor, I felt it, and I understood why people got hooked on it, and I loved it. And that led me down a path when that prescription ran out. That led me down a path to finding those pills on the street. And at the time, we're talking, late 2000s here, and at that time, those pills were rather easy to find out in the street. And it took me into early parts of addiction, I would say. I lost a job in finance because of it. They deemed me not able to manage other people's money because I couldn't manage my own money. And I went to rehab. First time I went to rehab was a very solid 12-step program in northern Connecticut. At the time that I entered that program, they didn't even take insurance policies. They were cash pay. It was a cash pay program. You paid about $8,000 to be there for a month, and it was like 12-step boot camp. We went in the mornings, you did your daily reflections, you broke off into groups, you read out the Yellow Living Sober book, you broke into step workshops. You needed to have a temporary sponsor at least, or a sponsor and working the steps to be in the program up there. It was just 12-step, 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 12-step. And I learned everything I needed to know, at least I thought, right? I left that rehab with no intentions of continuing what I was doing there. What I thought is what I needed to do is go find another job, get another girlfriend, make that paycheck start rolling in, and I'm going to be perfectly fine. I wasn't an addict. I wasn't an alcoholic. This is what I told myself. So that's exactly what I did. I went out back into the work field. I got a job in tech sales, another very successful career path where I was doing great. I was making a ton of money. I got myself a girlfriend, got myself the apartment, a nice car, was paying my bills. Everything was going good. But sooner or later, the drinking started, and then the the pills started. And if I'm being perfectly honest, I mean, that started right when I got out of rehab. I don't think I stayed sober for more than 2 days out of rehab that time. In reality, outside of treatment, I've never stayed sober for more than 3 days. So, about a year goes by, I end up losing that job too. Go back to rehab, end up in California for my first time. I believe in 2016, I was out here. Again, another good 12-step program where they taught me to get a sponsor, work the steps, the whole 9 yards. Didn't do it. Like, I understood that, at least what I thought I understood was that everybody that was in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous and the other anonymous programs was that you guys needed God. But I was smart enough. I had this ability to bounce back. I had this ability to get back on my feet. And I was going to figure this thing out without 12 steps, right? I mean, I understood that maybe you guys needed it, but I certainly didn't need it. I'm the smartest person in the room. I wasn't going to listen to anything you guys had to say. Simple and plain. That attitude almost killed me, by the way. So if you're new here, I suggest that you don't do that. I'm just sharing my experience. So a few years go on, another career path burned down, successful restaurant management thing I had going on in New York City for a while there. And, I end up working for my father's waste management company and end up taking that over in the beginning of 2020. He gave me an opportunity for me and my older brother to buy that company from him. About 6 months go by and we hadn't made a single payment to him. So he decided that it probably was a better idea to sell that to somebody else than his sons, because we were burning what he took 40 years to build. We were burning it down to the ground in a very short period of time. When he did that, I basically lost everything that I had in a single afternoon. The house that I was living in was owned by the company. The vehicle that I was driving was owned by the company. Obviously, my job was supplied by the company. And when I had to go home and tell my fiance that, she left me. She called me a no-good junkie, which is exactly what I was. And like I said, I lost everything that I had in about an afternoon. And my options were go back to rehab for, I think it was the 10th time, or, just die the way I'm doing things. And luckily, a friend of mine called me who was a clinical director of a treatment center out here in Orange County. He told me that whether or not I had insurance, he would get me out here and I would have another shot at recovery. I did not want to do that. I knew what it was going to take. I just didn't want to do it. Like, I really didn't. I was basically resigned to the fact that I was going to be a junkie for the rest of my life and I was going to die that way, and I was okay with it. He booked me a flight. I missed that flight. He booked another flight. I missed that flight, and I missed the third flight. And on the fourth flight, he told me, if you don't get on this plane, that's it. Like, this opportunity's going by the wayside. I decide to get on that plane. I come out here, and even when I get out to rehab, it's still the same attitude in my head. Like, I'm not going to do this 12-step thing. I'm not going to do recovery the way that people have been telling me to do it for years. I'm going to do it my way. And really, in all actuality, was like my best thinking was like I was going to be at that treatment center for like 12 or 14 days, in AMA, and somehow find my way back home, because I had a relationship that I needed to fix back home. I had, opportunity back home, which none of this was in existence. This was all delusion I was telling myself in my head, but that was my plan, right? In that treatment center, something happened where I ran into one of the techs at the treatment center. Was a tech at that treatment center that came out here in 2016, and when I met him in 2016, I had about 90 days sober. So fast forward to 2020, and he's coming up on 4 years sober, and I'm looking at him and I'm thinking to myself, like, how the hell did he do that? Because I knew his story, and I knew that he was very similar to me, very similar upbringing, same type of drugs that we use, same. It's a very similar story, just different slight details, but the story itself boiled down to the same thing. And, he told me that what I needed to do was get a sponsor, work the steps, do this thing like my life depended on it, find God through the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, and I was going to be okay. And something told me that, like, maybe that is what I needed to do. And what my first sponsor used to say to me is, because I used to say that a lot, is that, like, something told me to do that. And he used to stop me and he used to say that like that word something is his favorite word for God, because you hear newcomers say it all the time. Is they say, something's happening. I don't really know what it is. Something's happening. Well, before we even know it, that's God, and that's my experience with the steps and with spirituality in general. Is that I come in, I decide that I'm going to do the work, and I go to a Heroin Anonymous meeting. I find a sponsor in Heroin Anonymous because I have this prejudice towards Alcoholics Anonymous. I've had experiences in the past which lead me to believe that it doesn't work. And I have this prejudice that's not going to allow me to resonate, right? So I find this kid from New York in the Heroin Anonymous meeting. He decides to sponsor me, and we're sitting down and we're starting the step work. And I had like an inkling of willingness. That's really all that I had. And we started getting into the work, right? And about 2 weeks in, I start noticing some things. And like I couldn't really explain what was going on, but I was getting more and more willing. And even at that moment, I didn't have any type of conception of that, like God can do this thing for me. I didn't really understand what that meant. And I just kept going, right? I just kept going. And what happened is that as I started doing more and more of the step work and I started practicing these principles in my life, I started having a different experience with life. Things started happening to me that don't normally happen to a guy like me. Trying to think of an example here. I have a I get to a point where I'm having some sort of experience, and I can't quite put my finger on it. And as I get into more of the step work, start doing a 4-step, getting into my resentments and my fears, and working with a really good therapist at the time, I start realizing some things that I had never realized before. And that, first and foremost, that my life is run on fear, and I have these secondary emotions that go on in my life: anxiety, anger, and depression. Like I was a super angry person my whole entire life. I could never control my anger. Throughout my childhood, my adolescence, into adulthood, I just could not control my anger. I was in court-ordered anger management. Guidance counselors throughout all school taught me all these anger management techniques that just never quite worked. And I had a therapist break it down to me and explain to me that my anger was coming from some sort of fear, right? And that if I can get to the cause of my anger, I can control it. And like I said, for me, like that was something that I could never do with all the tools that I had at my disposal for my whole entire life. So in doing a 4-step and in identifying the fears and going into 6 and 7, along with the help of a therapist, I started being able to control my anger. And that was like the first evidence that I had that something was really working, right? And when I went home with about 6 months sober, I met with my sister, and we were talking about some things, and she's like, how's your anger doing? Because this has been an issue for my whole entire life. And I was like, I haven't had an angry outburst in quite a while. And that was when I kind of realized that like that was something that wasn't really affecting my life anymore. And that's not me that can do that. Because like I said, I had tried so many times with different, anger management techniques and all these other things that to control this thing. And it wasn't controllable by me. That's when I started realizing that there's something else that's doing this for me. Because really all I do when I start to feel those physical cues of anger, I stop, I pause, I pray to God to have it removed. I think about the fear and where it's coming from. And then I go through it. And it doesn't happen. That angry outburst that would always happen in the past isn't happening anymore. And it was like, that's not me that's doing that, So maybe there's something to this God thing. Maybe there really is. Even then, I still wasn't quite sold on it, right? Continuing with the process, practicing these principles that we're learning throughout the step, and now I'm into steps 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And I'm practicing kindness, compassion. I'm practicing patience. I'm practicing honesty. I'm practicing hope, faith, and courage. I'm practicing acceptance. I'm practicing some service work. like I said, I start having different experiences with life. And I don't even know it, but they're spiritual experiences that are happening to me because I'm practicing spiritual principles. And through doing that, I'm having these experiences that don't normally happen for a guy like me. I continue to do this, right? I finished my steps. I went through the steps with my sponsor rather quickly. I finished my steps in about 4 months. Start doing some service work, taking commitments at meetings, even sponsoring other men. And it's just like this evolution of something, starts to happen for me. Now I'm in California. I'm 3,500 miles away from home. I am unemployable. My criminal record doesn't give me any more opportunities. At this time, I'm fighting 17 larceny charges and 5 years in jail back home. Every time I bring a resume to anywhere, I can't get hired. I don't really have any financial means to make any money out here. And I'm in a sober living where rent is due in like 10 days. And I'm bugging. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do, right? And my sponsor and people around me are just telling me to pray about it. And I'm like, this is so fucking dumb. This is so fucking dumb.
I'm with you.
You know what I mean? This is not going to work. Like I'm a realist, and I'm like, this is not going to work. So one morning I wake up in sober living. I'm living down in San Clemente, right by the pier. I go take a walk down to the pier, and I'm doing what I think is prayer at the time. I'm not really sure what it is, but I'm doing what I think is prayer. And I run into the owner of the treatment center that I went through, and he's like, "Holy shit, you're still sober?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am actually." At this time, I got like 95 days sober. And he's like, "Hey, well, we're opening up another house. We need a nighttime tech. Are you in?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess, but I don't have a car. I don't have a way to get to work." And he's like, "I'll pick you up. I'll take you to work until you can get your car and everything like that. But if you need a job, you're hired." In that moment, I had no clue, that my prayers were being answered. Certainly that's what was going on, but I'm still aligned to that fact, right? Again, like I'm not a responsible, hireable, employable person. At least in my mind, I don't think I am. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to be doing and practicing these principles that are laid out for me in the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. I started as a part-time tech there. I worked my way up to lead tech. Something happens at the job where I get promoted to operations supervisor. Within about 18 months, I'm promoted to essentially the head of the operations department. And, it's like throughout that whole entire process, I'm getting more responsibility. I'm getting more things that are happening to me. And, I don't feel worthy of it. I really don't. And like, I remember the day that they walked into the office with, a company credit card with my name on it, and they put it in front of me. And I was like, do they know who they're dealing with? You know what I mean? Like, I have fraud on my record. I have credit card fraud on my record, and you're giving me an American Express card with my name on it? Like, but what was happening was that they trusted me. They didn't know that guy, from before. They never saw that guy from before. And the reason why they hadn't seen that guy was because I had that little inkling of willingness in rehab to start a process that taught me some spiritual principles, that gave me different experiences with life. And through those different experiences, I had a spiritual awakening, not even knowing that was going on, And that's just my experience, and that's my story. Like, I walked into Alcoholics Anonymous, not necessarily as an agnostic or an atheist, but just not a believer. This wasn't going to happen for me. But this was my only option. I had tried everything else before that. Everything. And as a heroin addict, there's a lot of different things we can try out there. Methadone maintenance, Suboxone, just smoking weed, just drinking, just doing coke on weekends, getting bored with coke and starting to cook it into crack. Like all these things that we go down the line of while we're in active addiction. I had tried it all. And could never do it, could never pull it off, And I'd get the job, I'd get the girl, I'd get all those things. It was just other things would not fill that void, right? And it's just been amazing. It's been amazing. And for a person like me, I look back now, I'm coming up on I'll have 3.5 years on December 15th, and I look back, and it's just like, it blows my mind. It blows my mind that, first and foremost, that I'm alive here. Secondly, that all this has happened in such a short period of time, like 3.5 years might seem a while, but it's really not. And it's like, I really have very little to do with it. You know, we talk about in the rooms, we talk about doing this work, doing this work, doing this work. If I'm being perfectly honest with you, I didn't do all that much work. You know, I didn't do a lot of book work. You know, my 4-step was very short. Like I said, my sponsor blew me through the steps in less than 4 months. It was just, I practiced the principles to the best of my ability. I started having different experiences with life. Those experiences were spiritual experiences. I didn't even know they were happening while they were happening. I had a spiritual awakening without even knowing that it was happening. I just kept going, right? I just kept going. You know, and that's the beauty of this program. You know, now working in the rehab setting and seeing, you know, a lot of people come in and try so hard at this thing. That's always my best advice to somebody is like, you don't really, for me at least, from my own personal experience, you don't really have to try that hard. This is an extremely simple program. It's an extremely simple program. There's a book that has 164 pages that lays out things that we should do, quote unquote suggestions, that if you follow those things, life is going to get drastically better. It's only 164 pages. That's all that it is, right? I mean, it's a loaded 164 pages, but that's all that it is. And if we could wrap our heads around that and just keep putting one foot forward, doing these things, life becomes drastically better, you know? And furthermore, it takes away the reason for me to drink and do drugs. I talked about the anger, you know, but anxiety and depression, it's like the same thing. So same thing with the 4-step and with the therapist as far as anger, like my anxiety and my depression were led on by fears, right? In processing, doing 4, 5, 6, 7, in processing my fears, because by the way, character defects are also coming from fears too, right? So if we're being real here. So if I could sit there and process into my fears and get to the root of them, ask God for some guidance on how to be more kind, more compassionate, more understanding, more accepting, these spiritual principles that we're learning as we're going along, I start to realize that the fears that are leading my anxiety, depression, same thing like the ones that are leading my anger, are rather irrational, and that I don't need to feed into them because it's not what reality is. And when I do that, I have less experiences with anxiety and depression, thus giving me less reasons to drink and use drugs. Essentially, by that process, I take my reasoning of using drugs away. Because that's why I use drugs. And that's why everybody uses drugs. It says in the doctor's opinion, I mean, men and women drink because we like the effect that's produced by alcohol or drugs. This is why we do it, right? So as I'm doing these things, I'm taking my reasoning away to use drugs and alcohol. So when I have those bad days, when I'm going through some shit, it's a whole lot easier to manage. Life is a whole lot more manageable, right? You know, I'm so grateful that, you know, I had the chance to come out here and do recovery, even though I didn't want it to. Right, even though I didn't want to, that person called me, and I came out here and I did this because, I mean, life has gotten really good. Life has gotten really good, and I've gotten the material things back this time around again, just like I used to, but it's different this time. It's different this time because that's not what I'm going for. Those material things are a byproduct of something that I do on a daily basis, right? I've taken a lot of service commitments within the fellowships. That's why one of the reasons why I identify as a heroin addict, because that's where I found my solution. That's the fellowship that I latched onto. I took commitments at their meetings, then I took GSR commitments, then area commitments and district commitments. And about 2 years ago, I was voted the Orange County delegate of Heroin Anonymous. So I have to go to the World Services Board every summer, and like I get to go to do all these things, right? And it's, I don't get paid to do it. Sometimes I even have to pay for my own travel and take time off of work and lose some of my paycheck. But these are things that keep me sober. I've had experiences out there that have kept me sober. And I'll end with this because, you know, I do love to talk about the service work, is that, you know, every summer I have to go out to Phoenix, Arizona for the Heroin Anonymous World Conference, and you know, I'm on the literature, chips, and format committee where we write the pamphlets of the fellowship. We construct formats of the meetings and things of that nature, and it's a headache. It's a headache. Every Sunday, 2 Sundays out of the month, I have to get on a Zoom call at 10 a.m. Eastern time, so it's 7 a.m. Pacific time, with people from all around the country and write pamphlets. Now, if you've ever been on a Zoom meeting with 15 people trying to write a pamphlet, you want to go crazy. You know, we're arguing over language, or arguing over all these things. And, you know, 90% of the time when we rewrite a pamphlet and we go to the World Services Board for it, it gets voted down. So all this time time and effort that we're putting into things, you know, most of the time we're not even making any progress, if I'm being honest about it. And sometimes I'm beating my head against the wall, wondering why I even do it. Well, last New Year's, I went back to New York City for a concert. There's a band that I follow that plays Madison Square Garden every New Year's Eve. And, you know, it's the lead singer of the band is sober, but out of 22,000 people inside of Madison Square Garden, I'd say about 21,500 are fucked up, out of their mind, especially on New Year's Eve. And I went last year by myself. I flew from California to New York. I stayed at my mother's house. I took the train into New York City. I'm in that arena by myself. And at, you know, 2.5 years sober, you know, even with all this spirituality and all the things that I do on a daily basis, that thought comes into my mind where it's like, no one will know, you know? No one will know. I could take acid and that won't pop in a drug test. I start saying this stuff to myself. And I'm like, oh shit, you know, because this is bad. And that voice in the back of my head starts getting louder and louder. And I'm like, I know what I need to do. I need to find God somehow. So I go into a bathroom stall and I'm sitting there and I'm like trying to pray and the music's going on and this fucking, you know, arena's going crazy. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like I flew out from California to do this. Like, I don't want to go home. I don't want to leave early, but I know if I stay here, it's not going to be good. And I'm just doing my best to speak to God. And I walk out of that bathroom and there's a kid from Alabama who I knew from Heroin Anonymous World Services that's standing right there. And he's like, yo, what are you doing here? I didn't know you listened to this band. And I was like, yeah, no shit, what are you doing here? And he's like, oh, I got a whole bunch of sober kids down in front, like where they, you know, there's a fellowship of sober people that they kind of rope off a section in the front of the arena for, and we can go hang out with them. I was like, you know, and again, just like I have those experiences, like when in early sobriety, I didn't even know what was going on in the moment. I just followed him and I went to the crowd. And I'm thinking the next day, I was like, you know, if that was God, I don't know what it was, you know? And those things happen to me all the time. Those things happen to me all the time. So, you know, it's just, I mean, I really don't even know how to wrap all this up, but just want to thank you guys for letting me come out tonight. I know I went a little bit over my time and I apologize, but I'm Tyler, I'm a heroin addict, and thanks for having me.
Yeah. Wow, bro. Fucking talk about relatable. Just everything right from the beginning. The anger, the family. I mean, it sounds like you're close knit with your sister, your mom, even your dad with the family business. Yep. You know, I mean, scenario after scenario, I was with you. It's crazy. Yeah, and it's amazing how you hung around, you know. I mean, Chad always talks about waiting until the miracle, and when you went to that last detox and you saw that tech guy there after you knew what 90 days and he was creeping up on 4 years, and you were able to relate with him. Right. On a level that you hadn't had before, I'm assuming. You know, to get you to that next stage and just bump after bump after bump after bump.
For sure.
Right to here, bro. Yeah. Fuck. I got chills. That was a great story, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
great story. We got Natalie, Eva, and Chad open.
Stan, you crushing it, dude.
Yeah, baby. This is a great night. Wow. Great story.
Tyler, dude, you crushed it, man.
Thank you, man.
I loved hearing all of that goodness, man. That's the miracles of the program right there. Where's Natalie?
I'm right here.
She happens to be right under you.
Can you hear me?
She does? She's not on my screen.
She's right under you. She's just down.
All right.
Can you
Yeah.
hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, amazing. Tyler, dude, loved your share. Shane, way to hold it down in the studio while Chad and I are in AZ. But Tyler, obviously, like, you know what I took out of it. You're absolutely right. 164 pages. It's a simple program, and I know you said that you don't feel like you did the work, that much work. I kind of feel the same in my life as well. But we did the work. Like, it doesn't feel like we're doing that much, but what is different is that you obviously did doing those 164 pages that's suggested. Clearly that's what transpired over your life, and the miracles is like you said, you walked in, you know, maybe not agnostic or whatnot, or believing in whatever, but the proof is in the pudding. Like, you can't deny like what happened at that concert. That's the shit that I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah. That's
Those are-
That's crazy.
those are like the God winks, the God shots, that whatever you hear in the rooms that people talk about all the time, where it's like, yeah, bro, stay the course, keep doing this shit, because you obviously needed a little glimmer of hope, and bam, there it was. And like such a fucking random ass spot, and probably, like you said, the majority of the people that were there New Year's Eve and you know, not sober. And then boom. I mean, I loved your story tonight. It was absolutely incredible. What you're doing is awesome, and the fact that you've been able to string a, you know, 3.5 years together is just the beginning, and continue doing the thing, because tonight was awesome.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I just want to say, man, you kind of told part of my story in your story. Like, I, when I got sober in 2000, I ended up going back and working for the treatment center that I went through. I knew that God had left me here to help other people, and you know, the whole job part, man. It was like I was. They called them house managers back then, and we got paid like $800 cash under the table, and we lived in the house, and there was no shifts. It was a little bit crazier back in those days, but 18 months later, I was the operations director of an 80-bed treatment center, and you know, I can't wait to see what's going to happen in your life, because fast forward my life 22 years from there. You know, that's what I do for a living now. I own treatment centers,
Right on.
and you know, and you know, I'm grateful and blessed and humbled to do that, but to also be a host of the Hopeaholics podcast. You know, that's been an amazing journey. Hang on, guys. Natalie or somebody else talk. There's somebody out my door real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Here we go. This is why you always got to behave. You always have to behave no matter where you are. You see someone's at his door. Let's see who it is. We don't know.
It's probably room service.
Probably. It's Peter
Oh, it's Peter.
or someone. All right.
Oh yeah, I love it because he's not muted, so we
No,
can,
Whoops,
no.
I didn't mute myself.
No, that's fine.
The guy bringing me ice.
we can
Yeah.
spy.
For your feet, your sore feet.
No, my feet are good. Sorry, guys, that was embarrassing.
That's all right.
No, but I mean that's a testament of what, you know, what you're doing too, Chad. It's like, we're out here for a conference, which if you asked me this when I started my sobriety journey, no fucking way would I even be, let alone allowed at a conference. And then I'm sitting here, you know, when I'm talking to people, it's like, yeah, this is Chad,
Right.
the CEO, like, running shit. You know what I mean? Like, this is somebody that was out running the streets. So it's like, that's a testament just for me to watch somebody. It's like, that's why it's so exciting to be a part of this meeting, to be a part of the Hopeaholics with Chad and Shane, because that's what it's all about, is giving that glimmer of hope. Because I feel like all of us, maybe it's just me, but at the start of a recovery journey, you have no hope. You need a glimmer of something to hold on to. And it's like, and it's really hard to start the journey, but then once you do, and once you start seeing like little minor things, mine was, I couldn't believe that I got my driver's license back. Like dumb things that normal people in society have and get start to come back into our lives, and then it's like, oh, okay, and then you just keep on walking the walk. So Your story was really, really incredible. I loved it.
Thank you.
Nice.
I just want to tell you guys, it's this is a cool ass meeting, and for me, I haven't ever been on this side of the meeting. I'm always in the studio with Shane. So to hear this meeting and to see it from this side that everybody else gets to see it from, this is really fucking cool, guys. And I'm always so excited. But I was even more excited once everything started going. I was so into it, and I couldn't wait to unmute myself because I wanted to say something. I'm just gonna answer the door. Well,
There you go. That's what we're talking about. Hopefully, it's not your wife surprising you and her. Hopefully, it's not your wife surprising you.
Me off a bag.
Oh,
Thank you. Oh, dang, he got me some waters too. Life is amazing.
yeah, it is. Life is amazing.
What I was gonna say though, really quick, and then I'll shut up because I want to hear other people share. Is those little what we call them coincidences,
Yeah.
those little things that happen. You know, those are God instances, man, and that's God showing up because you're practicing the principles in all of your affairs. You know, and that's when it happens, man. And like, come on, you're in a bathroom stall, at a
Right.
concert.
22,000 people at Madison Square Garden. No
I want
chance.
to go home, but I'm thinking about going home. And you walk out of the stall, and there's a guy that you know from the World Services.
Fuck.
You know, and Heroin Anonymous isn't as big as Alcoholics Anonymous.
Not even close.
No.
The fact that you run into a guy from Heroin Anonymous World Services is like, that's God. And then he's got a group of sober people down at the bottom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Dude. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much for coming and sharing on our Zoom meeting. This is the Recover Out Loud meeting because we don't want people to suffer in silence anymore. And super grateful that you came and shared your experience, strength, and hope with us, man.
For sure, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. Let's open it up here, baby.
Shane, you want to open this bad
Yeah,
boy
yeah.
up?
Let's open this bad boy up. Who wants to talk? Who wants to ask questions? Who wants to relate? Let's go. What? There's no one. How about? There we go. Zamzow, I think.
You can
Chuck?
mute me.
I'm learning everyone now. Chuck, how you doing, brother?
What's going on, guys? You guys hear me all right?
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Dude, that was a solid freaking talk, man. Solid. I liked how you talked about how the God moments were happening, but you didn't realize they were happening. I'll share something real quick that I share with my pigeon. And I was about 3-4 months sober, and I was having bills piling up from my DUI accident, et cetera, and hospital bills. Well, I filled out some paperwork, sent it in for the hospital, and like I'd say 6 months down the line, a letter comes in the mail saying it's paid in full. So I'm looking at the letter. I looked at my dad, and he's in the program, and I'm like, what the hell is this? My bill's paid. He goes, see, something's working for you. Something's working. You keep coming back to those meetings. This is what happens.
That's awesome.
He goes, I want you to do one thing, kid. Go get a thank you letter, take it down there, and give it to him. So I'm looking at him, I'm like, what? He goes, just go do it. So I do it, sign it, bring it in. And then the lady's looking at me all funny. She goes, what's this for? I said, well, I'm saying thank you for somebody who ever paid this bill. So it was a moment where I started to understand that something was doing for me that I wasn't doing for myself at that time. And I was like, well, if this happens and I keep coming back to meetings, keep talking to my sponsor, keep plugged in, what else is going to happen? So 15 years later, a lot of great things have happened, some bad things too, but you know, that's just, it's part of the process for me. And just a great share, man, and that's all I got. Thanks for letting me talk.
Yeah. Thanks, brother. All right,
Chuck.
Brittany. Chuck. Brittany's up. Brittany.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Tyler, thank you for your share. Oh my God, I related it in so many ways. And Chad, thank you. My little brother is in your guys' program and he's doing amazing. Um, but I used to work in treatment, and like the biggest thing that I was ever lacking was God. I never had God in my life. And so, I got sober for 3 years. I worked in treatment for 3 years. Everything was fine. And the anxiety of trying to help other people and not having my foundation like coming from God, like it overwhelmed me. And I eventually went back out, and it took me 5 years to come back. And like I have a little bit over 6 months now, but I mean, like
Good for
the
you.
crap that I've been through, like getting my little brother to your guys' program was a nightmare this week because every day he was overdosing. Literally, we were calling 911 on him like almost every single day. Like your intake lady, she's amazing. She was in contact with me, and like I would not have been able to make it everything that I was going through with him without praying to God, like and asking God for his guidance because I have codependency so bad and I think I can save everybody, but I like didn't do certain things that I would normally do this time. Like, I told my mom, we can't enable him. We're gonna kill him if we keep enabling him. And, I'd make God my first and he's first before everything. And then comes my sobriety, and it's amazing how many things have really changed in my life. Just like you said, everything is falling into place. I lost everything. I was living in a tent in Thousand Oaks. I lost my kids, my cars, everything. So like I'm literally rebuilding my life right now. And I would not be able to walk through everything I'm walking through without having God this time. And it's crazy because I was raised a Jehovah Witness. So like my whole perception of God was twisted, from a young age. But like it's amazing. Like I'm gonna be a youth leader. Like I mean, there's so many amazing things
Nice.
that are going on in my life, and like I would not have been able to walk through what I'm walking through and really heal myself from the inside out. And just everything that goes into plan is working without me even doing anything, and it's just amazing. And I appreciate you guys and what you guys do and you guys giving these chances for people to come out and share their stories because like I'm sick with COVID right now and I feel like crap, but I needed a meeting and I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna have their meeting tonight. And thank God, Tyler, because you have an amazing share and it really
Yeah.
touched me and just I appreciate you guys so much, and that's all I got.
Thanks, Brittany.
Thank you.
All right, who's next here? Michelangelo, can we go over the names so we can see who this guy's out here? Victor, how you doing, brother?
Victor.
Victor.
Hey,
Victor,
what's up,
NM,
guys?
New
Can you hear me?
Mexico, I'm assuming.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Northeastern New Mexico. Just marked a little over 9 months clean.
Nice.
man.
After about, I would say, when I looked back at everything, it was probably 20 years of something or another. And it's crazy. When I first found, the Hopeaholics, I believe it was the episode with Tyson Sully, I think, with the whole fuck fentanyl campaign.
Yeah.
And the insanity, it's crazy how bad it got because thanks Tyler for your share, because opiates was my DOC. And the insanity, the insane decisions that I made, to think that just because I could get these little blue pills and they were cheaper than what I was actually getting, and I was going through them pretty quick, and I believe everything happens for a reason. Some people touch one of those damn things and, it's game over. And there was a couple of close calls, I believe, where I think I thought I nodded out, but it might have been a little bit worse than what I thought. And just the right people were there. Never had to get Narcan, knock on wood. But I saw that episode and this place spoke to me, this is the only night that I don't actually attend a meeting. There's like 0 meetings in the town where I'm from. I have to drive probably an hour north. My commute daily is like a 200-mile round trip, and part of that is like a big circle. And I go back to the community where I got sober at. There's a great community up there in Taos, New Mexico. And I found Sobriety and Narcotics Anonymous. And, just talking like about the God shots, the first, they had us in detox or whatever. They're at treatment. And when I got out of detox, I went to my first like out of house meeting because we'd have meetings every night at the house. And about 11 years ago or so, I started fighting fire. I'm a wildland firefighter. And when I walked into my first meeting, one of the guys that I first started fighting fire with was in there, you know, and I was scared to walk in, scared to be noticed, recognized, whatever, you know, that shame, guilt, whatever. And when I saw that guy, I was like so relieved, you know, and he welcomed me with open arms, you know, gave me a hug, told me he was glad to see me there, told me to keep going back, you know, and I did. You know, I did my stint there at treatment. I was in such a rush to get home, and I came home, unpacked all my shit, and like a couple hours passed, and I hopped in the truck and I hauled ass back up to Taos and went to a meeting, you know, and you know, just the God shots that have been coming my way lately. Earlier this summer, me and my wife were at a concert, and it's crazy, man. You know, concerts. I guess they're, you know, if you're strong, it's a good place to go because when music speaks to a lot of people, I know it speaks to me. I'll wrap it up right now.
That's no rush, buddy.
But anyway, um, we sit down, we find our seats, and I see this two dudes like come, you know, to the row in front of me, and it was a guy that I was in treatment with, and we sat like right next to each other, and we hadn't seen each other since we were in treatment, you know.
Yeah.
So you know, it's cool how God works in our lives, and I like to say that, you know, He found me because God wasn't lost. I was the one that was lost. You know what I mean? So thank you guys for everything that you do, Chad. Thank you, man. You're I follow you, man. You're a big inspiration to me. Love what you guys do, and shout out to everybody that's in here because you guys are all, you know, making that step to better your lives. So peace out, love from New Mexico.
Peace out, man. Yeah, thanks, brother.
Awesome, man.
Damn.
Yeah, New Mexico. Thanks. We appreciate that.
We go to any lengths, eh? 2-hour round trip to stay sober.
I know, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Right? I don't see any more hands up. Oh, there's it. Keith. Keith's ready to share.
Yeah.
Can you hit Keith?
Keith.
What's going on, fellas? Can
Hey,
you guys
buddy.
hear me?
Oh, yeah, brother.
Hey, man.
Yeah. How's it going, man?
Good, man. Hey, I appreciate all you guys. My name's Tankersley. I'm an alcoholic overcomer. I've only got 3.5 months sober. My actual sobriety date is August 12th. Little about my story. First of all, I want to say that you guys were talking about prayer a little bit. And I truly believe that prayer moves the hand of God, because it's totally changed my life talking to God. And I think He's actually saved my life many, many, many times throughout my drinking experience. But I come from a long line of alcoholics. I started drinking when I was about 14 years old. My father was an alcoholic. His father was an alcoholic. And fast forward to like my 20s, you know, I've always been attracted to that fast life. I never had any bad intent behind it, but drinking was just a major part of my life. And a lot of my friends, everybody I hung out with were balls to the walls, alcoholics, and we all did everything: drinking, riding Harleys, dirt bikes, womanizing, you name it, you know. And I never really thought much of it, but obviously the lifestyle comes with major consequence. So I started doing a little jail time here and there, drunk in public, shit like that. And I started to end up losing a lot of friends and having a lot of close calls. I'm actually more terrified of the things that I didn't get caught for than the things I did get caught for. I found myself in Mexico a few times, blacked out in the barrio, not knowing where I'm at. Federales arresting me, shit like that. That's the kind of shit that happened to me in my life through drinking. And so I drank all the way up through my 30s, and you know, I've always been a guy that I've always wanted to stay real responsible. So that's one thing, is I've always kept my job, because I've always kept that as the highest priority. I didn't feel like a man if I couldn't keep a job, so I always made sure to keep my job and to never try and drive drunk. But anyways, toward the end, I started driving drunk anyways. And this last go around, I did a little jail time for domestic. I lost my kids, lost my house. Long story short, so I'm just so grateful to be sober, man, for this 3.5 months, and have this meeting and have all you guys in my life, man. So I'm kind of reaching out, you know. I got a lot more stories, but I know I only got a few minutes to put it together real quick.
Damn. Thanks, bro.
Yes, sir.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Keith. Amazing. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
It just keeps,
Just
keeps
gets
getting
better.
and better.
Yeah. Who's next? Let's go. Someone's got to have a desire. Who?
There's this person that's laying down with.
Oh, wait. Hang on a second. Hondo Center. They're raising their hand there. Hondo Center. They got 42 clients.
All right. Yeah. Go. Yep.
They're coming in. Yeah. There we go. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. My name is Carmen, and I overheard him say something about, I think the previous guy, yeah, him. He said that he had gone to rehabs for how many times? How many times did you go to rehab?
Myself, 10.
Yeah, 10. 10. This is my third one.
Doesn't need to be
I'm
10.
Not saying, oh, no, but you know what? 10? That's beautiful. This is my third one, and I'm feeling kind of like it's not over, like she said to me right now, it's not over. You just gotta keep going and going until you get it. And I'm very happy to hear your story.
Thank you.
Peace.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing.
Who was on the pillow? Whose head? Oh yeah, right there. She's wearing blue. I see that. Yes.
What's her name?
I see her. She's got kind of brownish hair. Brownish. She's nodding her head up and down. Yes.
You don't have to share. We're just trying to get you to share.
She'll share. Desiree Quintero.
I don't have my glasses on. I can't see anybody's name.
Desiree. That's Desiree.
Look at this is how old I am, guys. I have to wear glasses.
Rachel
wants to
there
share.
we go. Rachel wants to share.
She's like, yeah. All right, Rachel, you're up. You always share. Lay
I
it
was
down
sympathizing with you. I
for
was
us.
just over there at my husband saying, hey, do you have glasses I can borrow? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, good deal. I'm on my phone tonight. I just got done doing homework. So, yeah, that was a really good share. I can kind of see you. I can hear everything you said, though, and I relate. I'm all about the God shots. So I'm in school for social work.
Nice.
I've got some clean time and some sobriety under my belt. And for the longest, I've been the one, like, interviewing and asking the questions. And one of the places that I volunteer that helped me stay sober promoted me. It's like an unpaid volunteer position, but I'm co-coordinator of our Toys for Tots program. And our local hometown magazine called and did an interview with me. Like, we met at a coffee shop, like, she had questions. And as I'm giving her a little bit of my backstory, one of the girls who was my predecessor in the social services club, this reporter goes, "Oh my God, do you know so-and-so?" And I'm like, yeah, like, she's the president of the club that I was the president of this year. And then the girl I dissected cadavers with in anatomy is another one of her good friends. They all go to church together. So just all of those things came together. And instead of it just being an interview about Toys for Tots, I got to weave my recovery in, and she asked me questions about how my faith plays a role in that, to put in like a regular hometown newspaper. So where I was 10 years ago, like I told her, I never thought it was even possible where I'd be today. And I'm just so humbled, and I'm so grateful. And I just can't believe the life I live today. So great share. I appreciate it. Seeing all you guys helps me stay sober. Keep it up. Thanks for what you're doing, Chad, Shane. Love it.
Thanks. Don't forget about Eva.
Yeah, we don't want to forget about her.
We don't want to, and her feelings, yeah.
This season, but
it's true though. Come on.
To music, or does she have?
No, she's listening to music. She's listening to music. Obviously, she's rude like that. She wants to pretend that she's there. Video. That's fine.
Can you unmute her?
Do we have to?
What are you doing? Do you have your headphones on? Are you listening to us, or are you listening to music?
I'm not listening. Oh my gosh, I am not listening to music. I'm listening to y'all. Tripping. Don't be mad because I have my beats on and you don't.
That's right. She's all comfy. I'll tell you what.
I forgot mine at home.
Oh,
I was kind of bummed when I got to the airport, and I was like, "Oh man, I forgot my headphones."
on that crowded flight. You know
Did
who?
you see it? Did you see the picture?
I saw the video. Yeah,
We were
yeah.
packed in there like sardines.
Yeah, you and Peter look real cozy. I'll tell you who joined at 6:05 and asked, "What is this?" Is Jennifer's iPhone. I don't know that she's ever been here before, but it was kind of odd. If you go up to 6:05, she plugged in and then she said, "What's this?" And she stuck around for the whole hour.
She was talking about someone put a link.
Oh,
Hey,
for the
wait,
link.
Stagehand
Oh, for the
Sally's
link.
got
Oh,
her
never mind.
camera on. What's up, Stagehand?
Hey,
Sally?
Stagehand.
How are you?
I appreciate Michelle, whoever just put in the group chat. Don't be playing with me, guys.
What is it? I'm gonna read it. Let me see. Somebody sticking up for.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Thank you.
Look at Alice. What
Yeah.
Alice wrote here. Glad to you're here. You're not alone. My son's in prison. Just said.
Chuck said I bored her. Chuck liked the post we did the other day where Shane was talking about the cat, and I was like, I'm bored already.
Fluffy the cat.
I like that one too. I thought it was funny.
See, Carly got my back too.
Oh, it was Carly. Oh man, it was Carly. Come on.
No, she was another one. I'm gonna need my fellas to stick up for me too. Where are my boys at?
No, the guys are all on our side. They know exactly what we have to deal with on a daily basis.
Daily basis. Not easy.
Oh God. But honestly, I appreciate everybody's share tonight as well. Everyone's been super solid and what even like, you know, Tyler, you sharing that you've been to treatment 10 times, like that sounds insane in the sense of like, damn, that's crazy, that's a lot of time. But what that tells me is like, yeah, you keep going until you get this shit. Like, I don't care who you are, where you're at, where you come from. It's something, the disease is trying to kill us all every single day, trying to take us out of the game. And we have to be actively pursuing, I mean, I call it the devil because that motherfucker's trying to kill me. So I have to be super on point on my shit every single day. So that way I can continue to live the life that I want to live and that I know that I'm destined to live. And I feel like everybody that's showing up tonight, everybody that shared, Tyler, that you led, that's what we're doing. We're showing up for ourselves so that we can continue to show up for the people that we love in our lives. So congratulations to my man with 3.5 months too.
Yeah.
The first year is always, I feel like the first year is always the hardest. So same with you, Victor. You have 9 months. Keep doing it. 200 miles is a lot, but my sponsor, how she tells me, when I used to bitch and complain, and I still bitch and complain about hitting my meeting. Some things don't change, but she tells me, you went to what lengths to go score your 8-ball or whatever? What length did you go to get what you needed? And I was like, fuck, I guess that's true. I would do whatever to go get what I needed. So I have to treat my sobriety the same way. So thank you guys for all showing up tonight. Thank you for everybody that raised their hand and shared. This meeting is super dope. It means a lot to Chad, Shane, and myself because this is where we can be open, be vulnerable, talk about stuff that, you know, we normally wouldn't want to open up and share with, like, I call them normies because people just don't understand. So I appreciate everybody tonight. Thank you.
Night. I always count on Natalie to take it home. You know, that's what I like.
Is that it, Shane? Are we?
Well, we got room for one more. We got room for one more.
We got
2 minutes. Someone, come on. Oh, there we go. We got a hand up. Hernandez, Jason, right in the middle.
A burning desire.
Jason Hernandez, right in the middle. A little right. There we go. We got the big man on.
How you doing, guys?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, I don't know where to start, but I thought I'll just go for it.
Nice.
Been October 21st. I kind of quit what I was doing and being crazy, and been sober for about a month and 10 days now.
Congratulations, brother.
And just kind of doing it, and you know, by the side of it, my drinking has pretty much fell off too. because I don't want to go back to being a blackout drunk. You know, the drugs were there, but then, the alcohol was always there too. But, just I noticed I got back into church to quit one, and then, join the church services, take my son, and we go on Sundays, and just kind of battling it out, dealing with a lot of my mental health issues, dealing with my trauma, getting to a therapist, and trying to heal, and kind of get back to the old person I used to be. So, I don't really know what to say on here, but just tell them a little bit about, about that.
Yeah, that was it, bro. And please join us. Our link is in the bio. Text the Hopeaholics. Stop. Quiet down. Quiet down. Sorry if I'm a little confused. Okay. What I'm trying to say is this: is get in touch with us. We want to walk through your challenges with you.
There you go. I can use that.
Yeah, bro. Send us a message. I'll get you my phone number. We'll get you Chad's. We'll take this journey together.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, bro. Of course. You kidding
Go
me?
ahead and shoot us a DM, and I'll shoot over to Shane your number.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
for sure, brother.
We get a text thread going. That goes for anybody, man. Any of you guys want to get on a text thread, we're more than happy to, help.
Yeah, and reach out and be part of your life.
So, I try to go through them once a day, through all of them, and answer everybody. And and if you guys know any other people that need help or are in recovery, shoot them over towards this meeting, man. This is a free meeting. Oh wait, Stagehand Sally's got something to say.
Yeah, she does.
Hey y'all, hello. My name is Stagehand Sally. I am 48 years old. I'm a Hopeaholic.
Nice to meet you.
I'm sorry. I just thought for a minute. We're probably really intense and serious here because I didn't know. I'm just super late. But I really wanted to chime in because, when you pay for a subscription, man, you have to come in, And I'm about to get to work. And I'm sticking in a parking garage. And my lead is angry at me. But, I don't care. I told him this is important to me. And so I checked in early to my gig, and then now I have to go into this Jingle Bell Ball, whatever.
Oh yeah, I heard about the Jingle Bell Ball.
Yeah, it's ridiculous artists that I don't really care about, to be honest. But there's a bunch of drunk buffoons here, and even there's junkies in the parking garage.
Yeah.
Like people smoking literally in the state where I'm at, just not pot. And anyway, we don't need to go there. I'm just saying, ugh. I'm right here with y'all with fentanyl. Like I don't even say it right. I never taken it. Fentanyl. I'm so angry about it, y'all, because of friends and family that I know that have been disturbed by it greatly. And so I've since I've tuned in here the last month, I've been so warmed. My heart is just really warmed. That's all. What I'm doing in my life is it kind of matches up in lines perfectly with our age and demographic of what we're kind of doing as humans, which is evolving and realizing that our baby boomer parents and grandparents were probably not right most of the time, So I'm reparenting myself, right? And like a lot of us starting from scratch. So I just want to say hi. I'm so glad to hear your voices and just see you. I don't care if it's 30 of us or 10 of us, okay?
Yeah.
I got to go to work. But anyway, it's hard when you're surrounded by things that trigger you, right? And, I just say tough because I'm tough, right?
Okay.
Get through it. That's right.
Y'all are badass. Have a nice night.
I'm so happy to have 30 friends. I check in on Thursday.
Tuesday.
Y'all come back every Tuesday because I will. I mean, I'll come and see you. Stay sober, man. It is sexy. It doesn't matter. I don't care what sexy means to you, but it's definitely cooler than being a dick.
Love it. Sober is sexy, man. And damn, here's the thing. I'm gonna end with this real quick, and then Shane, can you get the whole thing going?
What whole thing?
Our ending.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So I just want to say, guys, we have an advantage. All of us that are sober today. We get to wake up tomorrow at whatever time we want. We don't have to wake up hungover. And we have an advantage over everybody else. I mean, even at this conference, we're an addiction conference, but it also has investors here, you know. And we were in there earlier and there was alcohol in there. And I was like, are you kidding me? You guys are serving wine at an addiction conference? Because most of us are sober here. And my point is, though, is that Natalie, myself, Peter's also here. He's part of our group. We get to wake up tomorrow and we have an advantage over everybody that drank today, you know, and we're going to be a step ahead. We're going to be that much sharper. And, you know, we get to live a life beyond our wildest dreams.
Yeah.
All we have to do is show up to life.
Yeah.
You know, trust God, clean house, help others, right? That is our mission. Trust God, clean house, help others.
Boom.
Boom. All right, Shane, it's
All right.
on you now. I'm going to shut up. It's all you.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Tyler, great share, bro.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
All right, let's give a shout out to Tyler here. Let's unmute everybody.
Amazing.
Let's unmute
amazing.
everybody. Let's give Tyler a shout out after we unmute everybody. And we're going to do the God. Yeah, we're going to do the prayer. All right, everybody.
What about the music and the dance?
Oh, we didn't do the music and the dance? All right, yeah. So we did it before. I want to do it after. Oh, yeah, that's right. Everyone dances. You're right. Sorry. Okay, let's go. Everyone get your hands up. Everyone, get your hands up. Yeah, baby, let's cue it.
Cue it.
Boop, 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 boop. Yeah. That was fucking fun. That was fun, and I almost blew it. there.
Guys, I technically feel that we should pray and then we dance out.
That's what I thought. Pray then dance out. Yeah, that's what.
Does that mean we have to dance
Who
again?
wants to lead us out?
You're supposed to be here at 10, but you got to be here at 9:30.
God,
God.
grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Week.
Great meeting. Thanks, guys. Have a great week, everybody.
Have a great week.
Do. Yeah.
There you go.
Beautiful.